welcome back to Harrison Family Farm. It's a pretty warm and nice Saturday here in Kansas City, and so I figured I'd turn the camera on and hang out with you guys for a bit. I actually got some thoughts running through my mind about what I wanted to do here on the farm today. Hanging out here with the goats, if you see them in the background, and if you notice, speaking of them, I've actually got them in that piece of land or that little patch I told you guys I wanted to get them into. With getting the weed eater back up and running, I was able to get that new blade or that new head that I showed you guys last week on there. And so I was able to make me or cut me a path in there. That way I was able to run my fence successfully without any issues at all. So they're doing well. But what I got on my mind for today is it's really on my mind to start cutting and clearing land again. That's something I haven't been doing a lot of this year, but it's still a big priority, an ongoing priority for me, just because I want to make more of our land that we have here useful to us, I would say. If you guys don't know, or if you haven't been on the channel for long, we have in total 5 acres. And I don't know exactly how much of it I have cleared now, but I would say less than half for sure. I would say, I would almost say maybe I have a third of it clear. And so we might have 2/3 remaining. And it might actually be, that actually estimate might be off as well. And the reason I say that, it's kind of hard for me to gauge because the part of my land that I do have clear, like as you see where the house is up here, the cows and everything, that's the skinniest part of our land. As our land goes down the opposite way, down this way, it actually gets a lot wider. And so I mix it up a little bit as far as how much we got clear now. But anyway, beyond that, this is what I'm thinking about doing today. I got to be careful over here just because that's pretty close to the goats and I wouldn't want to damage that fence. So I'm thinking about this area right here, just getting in here, cutting. No true goal in mind other than clearing the land and kind of just see where I get. It's actually in the evening. It's probably getting close to 5:30 or so. And I figure, hey, what the hey, let me come out here and get after this, just because it's been something I want to do. Now, I will tell you, I don't want to just go in here haphazardly, in the sense that I want to make sure that I think ahead and be mindful that I'm going to want shade trees. The animals are going to need shade. There's going to be times that I'm out here, whether that's running fence initially or for some other reason in the future. So I'm going to want a shade tree or two, just being mindful of that. And then also we got some trees that are pretty tall. I think I've showed them to you guys before. And so they're kind of cool to me. So if I can work it out where I can keep those as well, because I don't think they create enough shade to really damage grass for me. And that's really my only other goal, is to make sure that I have grass or I have sufficient sunlight for my grass, and that I also at the same time maintain balance and have shade for myself and for the animals in the future. But enough of me bumping my gums. I'm about to go get my chainsaw, get my gear or whatever, and then come out here and just kind of see where things lead me. All right, guys, now that the tree is down and I've cut most of the branches off of the trunk, I guess, if you will, I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting it into log sizes, and just want to show you guys what I was doing over here. So pretty straight too. If it wasn't for me having a fear of it rotting, I would probably use it for something, but I think I'm gonna just cut it up to firewood pieces and then figure out what I want to do with it for there, whether I sell it, whether I keep it or what. Like I'm out of go-go juice. But I say not too bad, guys. I think I got off to a decent start anyway. 2 trees down. This one I started undressing. That one I got completely undressed. Even cut it up. And I tried to cut my logs on the small side. And the reason for that is just so, you know, if a person's got a larger fireplace, stove, whatever, or if they got a smaller one, either way they're good. Or either way they can be a customer, you know what I mean? So that's why I do that like that. I left the stumps there for now. I will come back and cut those out. Either cut them out or burn them out. It just depends. Sometimes I build fires next to them and just burn them out, which I like to do, but it's really got to be a good hot fire in order for it to work properly. But we'll see. No shortage of fires that need to be had around here. So I'm sure if I decide to go that route, I have plenty of opportunities to do so. I'm actually not gonna worry about putting no more fuel in that chainsaw today because I actually need some bar oil, chain oil as well. Thought I had some on the back of my truck. Sorry. I was saying I thought I had some on the back of my truck, but I looked earlier for a good little minute and couldn't find any. So I don't know if I left it somewhere. I didn't let it get lost in my garage or what, but we'll see. Either I'm gonna look for a little bit more, and then if I can't find it, I'm gonna just get some more. Because truth be told, I'm gonna need it anyway. I don't know that I had a whole lot left anyway. So there's where I'm at on that. I wanted to actually get that tractor started and move those trees that I cut a few weeks ago out the front yard. But the same thing happened to me again, guys, where those of you that saw the video from last week, the battery was dead. And I'm real hesitant to believe that it's the alternator. And the reason I say that is because last week when I had the tractor on the charger, I turned the charger off. Well, the charger that I have, it'll still display the output of the battery. And so when I turned the tractor on, it was displaying about 14 volts. And for those of you that don't know, batteries only give out 12 volts. You know, maybe right around 13 for a fully charged brand new battery. But it was reading 14. So that led me to believe the alternator's on and working. So it's possible that battery's bad. I was trying to think back earlier about how long it's been since I replaced it, and it's probably been the better part of 5 years at least, I'd say, as I'm thinking about it. But it might be just gone, especially with that, with the tractor. I mean, with it being a diesel, it takes a lot of cold cranking amps or a lot of amps to turn over. And in fact, you see a lot of diesel engines require 2 batteries. That's true in fact for my truck. That's true in fact for like my daily driver truck, and true in fact for that U-Haul truck. But anyway, guys, that's why I come to that conclusion, because I'm not getting anything out of it. So we'll see. I might have the battery. I might take the battery to be tested, but I'm not going to jump to do that just so fast. As long as I'm still able to just, pop it off with just getting that starter on, getting that battery charger on there. I'm not too pressed about it at the moment. But the reason I wanted to get it started was because I wanted to pull those trees from up front. I wanted to pull them back here, undress them as well. A lot of those though, I'm not going to cut them up into logs. I'm going to save a lot of those for fence posts and other projects, as I mentioned to you guys before. That cedar seems to do really well. I'm hoping not to run into any more problems like I had with that fence post over in the cow's pen. If you guys remember from a few months ago now, the one we just repaired in the last video, or video before last, I forget. But yeah, I'm hoping not to run into that no more. So that's why I really, with all this wood that I've been cutting, it's not cedar. I've been just chucking it up to firewood, unless I got some other kind of plan for it that's not going to be critical, if you mean. And for me, I would put, animal infrastructure under critical, just because I wouldn't want that to fail and not be around. I wouldn't want that to fail and they get out or so whatever. But anyway, guys, I don't want to be rambling and going on. Trying to think of what I'm gonna do with all the smaller brush, whether I'm gonna stack it for kindling or just make a fire of my own right now. Not right now, but a fire of my own back here somewhere and just burn it, whether that be today, maybe tomorrow. Probably not today. You guys can see, maybe you can't see, it's kind of windy, so I don't really want to burn when it's like that. Although I will say, as damp as everything is, as wet as everything is, I likely, and as green as everything is, I likely wouldn't have any problems. But I like to, err on the side of safety and caution, especially with, things like that. And I'm just not going to risk it, because I can see me adding a lot of dry to it just to get it to take off, right? Because it's going to be so wet, it's not going to burn. And so I'll get it so hot that it, be willing to burn anything. So just rather not do it. Not on a day like today. We'll wait till a little bit more calmer, a little bit more calm, and then we'll go after it then. I'm about to take me a break, guys. Give me some water. I don't know how I look, but I know my face feels like it's melting. So let me get myself taken care of, and I'll check back in with you guys in a bit. So it is now several days later since you guys saw me cutting up those trees. And that's kind of for a few reasons. On one hand, it has been pretty rainy here the last few days here in Kansas City. And so that's kind of made me put a pause on being out there cutting and whatnot. And so I've actually today just made it back from Lowe's, getting some bar oil. There we go. Bar and chain oil for the chainsaw. I had run out of gas, but the bigger issue for me was that I couldn't find the bar oil that I believe that I had already. So I wanted to go get some before running the chainsaw anymore. I didn't want to cause any damage to my blade or my bar. But so my goal right now is to actually get the chainsaw fueled up and then lubricated up, and then go out there and finish cutting up the tree that I've already cut down. If you guys recall, just a few seconds for you, or maybe a minute ago for you guys, I was working on cutting that tree up, and that's when I ran out of gas. And so about to get out there and finish doing that. I don't have a lot of time, and I figure I can knock that out pretty quick. Another goal that I have, and hopefully I can get to this tomorrow, is actually pulling those trees that I showed you guys in the front yard, pulling those around back, getting those undressed or cut up, get the limbs cut off of them, and separate the ones that I'm going to use for potential future projects and posts versus the ones that I'm just going to cut into fire size, fireplace size. So that's what's on my agenda. That's what's on my list or on my mind that I want to get done. But for now, let me get this chainsaw up and going, and then I'll check back in with you guys. You guys can see I got the tractor on the charger. I want to make sure it's going to be ready for me. I was actually going to try to do that today as far as pulling those trees back around this way, but I just ran out of time, to be honest. And so you can see battery charger is saying, maybe that's not coming through on camera, but it says it's full. When I first hooked it up, it only had about 10 volts. So I'm thinking I got a bad cell or something. There's a few different wholesale battery places that I've used before, so I'll probably swing by one of them, see if I can't get a battery at a decent price. They're usually remanufactured or whatever, refurbished. But, for the purpose of this tractor, they're going to work just fine. In fact, I've used them on my truck. They've been good to me in the past, so I'm not too particular about it. But, yeah, guys, I've got the chainsaw ready to go, so I'm about to head over here. It's in the evening, and I haven't fed the animals yet, so anytime they see me, as you can see, they all have to make a bunch of noise. And I don't know if they're telling me they're hungry or happy to see me, but that's what all the ruckus is about. You'd think I was somebody special. I got the goats out here, and so they've actually been eating on this tree, or these trees that I've got down. There's the female there. Got the male goat, he's right there. So they've been munching on them a little bit. And so, like I said, and like you guys saw, that one's already cut up. And I'm gonna eventually just get it stacked, and that some of the wood that I already got out here this season, that's probably up, well, it's gotta be from last year. I'm gonna take it up closer to the front of the house and maybe see about selling it as we approach winter. And now is probably a good time, at least for the early birds, people that are thinking about it, because, for all intents and purposes, it's September. And, those that live a lifestyle where they use wood or depend on wood, they're already on top of something like this, because that's, they have to be. So anyway, guys, this is my project for the moment. I'm gonna get this big boy all cut up as much as I can anyway. And in that way, when I'm ready to stack them or whatever, I'll have my logs cut up and ready to stack. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. We got her all cut up. Maybe a few things that I might cut up a little bit more here or there on some of the smaller limbs that maybe I just didn't see or didn't get to, but that's no biggie. And like I said before, I'm just gonna stage a lot of the smaller brush somewhere as far as like a burn pile. I might let the goats eat it a little bit more. But then again, I do like those leaves on there, because once they dry out, they make for good fire starter. So we'll see. Yep, she's down. I'm gonna get this cleaned up. Not today, or at least not right this moment anyway. Get my logs staged somewhere. That way they're not just a down mess. And then, like I said before, I got logs that I've already got stacked around here that I want to get out of here, and I just mean up to the front. And so I just want to keep making my way back. You can see it's really, really thick in there. Not the thickest I've seen, but it is still pretty thick. And again, just taking away trees, as many trees as possible without completely messing myself over as far as shade goes in the future. And just trying to maintain that balance. Because I'll tell you one thing, it's still hard for me to, and I think I've mentioned this to you guys before, it's still hard for me to appreciate just how much land we have with it still being, all overgrown or whatever. So it's still pretty crazy to me, especially when I think about, like I told you guys, I think it was last week, that the part of the land where the house and everything is that you guys see that is exposed is the narrow part. So I don't know, I'm just excited, guys. But that's probably it for me today. I'm gonna get up here, get the animals some food, get them fed, and then make my way inside. Yesterday was Angela's birthday, and so actually one of her good friends is in town, and so they actually got dinner planned. So I'm gonna make my way inside so that I can be inside with TJ, And so that's what I'm about to get ready for rather. But I'll check back in with you guys probably tomorrow. See if we can't get those trees moved. See if we can't make sense of this mess that I made. But until then, guys. Hey guys, so it is now Sunday. And I'm out here with the cows. And the reason being is Beyonce was laying down and kind of had her eyes rolled back and had me concerned. I figured I'd come in here and just take a look at her. She seems to be doing fine now. She looks extremely large. But I guess Jay too. Sorry. You know, they're sitting down, so, and they just got done eating. I was thought for a minute she might have been going into labor, which I'm still not sure that she's not, but I'm just not sure that she is either. Her breathing is elevated, especially compared to Jay. I don't know if you guys can see kind of her breaths as she contracts and inhales. Not contracts, but inhales and exhales versus Jay right here. Sorry. Hard to see, but I don't know. She had me worried for a bit. Probably just in my head. Now, I will tell you guys, although I've made previous absolutely wrong predictions about when she's going to be calving, my estimate initially has always been September. And that's just because of her cycles that I've seen with her calves. She tends to have it 3 months after the previous one. Every year it gets 3 months later, 3 months later. And so with that, it would put it on time for September, because I don't know if you guys recall or not, but last year's calf was born in July, very close to when our son TJ was born. So that will put her on track to sometime late September to early October. We'll see though. I could just be tripping, but the way she was laid out here really just had me concerned. But apart from that, I'm working on getting me some wheels for my trailer, for my tractor trailer. Not like a semi, but the trailer, like a garden trailer, if you will. I've been working on the one that's been in my yard. I don't know if you guys have seen it in previous videos. You probably saw it earlier in this video. I got it up nearby the tractor, did some welding on it and got it in pretty good repair. And so I'm going to be using that, like I mentioned to you guys before. I'm going to use it to move some of the already seasoned wood up closer to the house and just find a staging place for it where I can put it. And so that's why I want to get it together. But I noticed that my tires have an air leak. And so I did some quick little research on YouTube, not on YouTube, excuse me, some quick research on Google, and found that Harbor Freight has them, I think, under $10 each. So that's pretty cool. I need to go there anyway because I need some more gloves. So it's going to work out. And so, yeah, that's what I was out here working on when I kind of noticed her. But again, now she seems fine. But like literally her eyes were rolled back in her head. I was genuinely concerned. But yeah, this is the trailer I was talking about. And so I can air these tires up, but they don't hold air for long. It's already flat again. And same with this one. And so I'm gonna just take one of them off, take it up there with me. And then that way I can get that squared away. This tractor battery is really, really shot. As you guys know, I charged it yesterday. I came out here today to try to start it and I got nothing out of it. So pretty sure that's what my problem is, given that, you know, I didn't start the tractor yesterday, so I can't blame it on the alternator not charging it. It's literally just been sitting here overnight. I've double checked all my lights and stuff or all my switches on the tractor to be sure, you know, I haven't left something on by mistake that's draining the battery. So far, I've not been able to find that anything like that exists. So thinking I just got to replace that battery at some point, which, you know, is kind of good news in the sense that it's an obvious, easy fix. So not too much with that. But anyway, we're gonna get my tires, that way I can go ahead and get my day started. It's already like noon, and so time is getting away from me and it's warming up. So I'll check back in with you guys in a bit.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. you, baby. So I stand up and speak my mind. Oh, baby, you give me ice and fire, chilling with the rain.
All right, guys, you can see we got all our trees moved and just kind of opened this area back up, and also made it possible for me to continue to cut some more. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Got that stuff out of my way, and now I can kind of continue on my path. And I'll show you guys real quick. This little ditch, or sometime creek, is really what I was kind of trying to expose as well. It's really just the water runoff from the top of the land. The land peaks over here in this corner, and it slopes all the way down. And you can see that even as it goes to our driveway, we have a culvert that allows water to run beneath it. And so I thought it'd be cool to expose this so we can see it. And then who knows what comes in the future. Maybe I can make it a part of some type of landscaping and dress it up. You guys let me know in the comments if you have any ideas. I know it's kind of hard to see it on camera, but it's like a little trench or whatever from this side to about here, and just flows through this little creek all the way to that cone right there. And so yeah, I don't know if like pebble rock or river rock would be good to kind of fill it with and dress it out, but yeah. And so let me see. And so I'm just gonna continue clearing up into that tree right there. So that means all this stuff will be gone and all this will be gone, but I got to clear it up. I got some old firewood here that I need to stage and get cleaned up as well as some old building material I want to get situated. That way it's not in my way when I'm coming in here to cut. But yeah, guys, I'm actually gonna take me a little break, give the tractor a break. It was getting a little warm on me. Get me something to drink, and I'll check back in. All right, guys, so I'm just making it back out here. Got my chainsaw, got my safety gear on, and about to get these trees undressed. I made quite the pile for myself, as I'll show you guys. This is that last one I brought down. It's actually pretty big. That's the one, if you guys recall, about 2 videos ago, maybe it was 3, I forget, but I measured the diameter of it, and I think it was like a foot or so, if I'm recalling correctly. But yeah, here's the pile we got. And so, like I told you guys before, those that you've been following along, all of these that are cedars and a decent width, or not a decent width, a decent diameter, I'm gonna put aside, and well, I'm gonna clean them up, and then I'm gonna put them aside and use them for fence posts and other things around around here. Excuse me, other things around the farm. They tend to be really resistant, and so I think that's a good use for them. And so any other wood besides those, I'm gonna do like I did before, cut it into small pieces, and that way they'll be good for burning. As you guys see, I got another pile of wood here, and this is going to be some of that dry wood I spoke to you guys about before, that I'm going to use that trailer to haul up closer to the front so I can get rid of it, or try to anyway. I got more over there. I got 2 more piles right there. There's one there. There's one there. Oh, that's 3 more piles, sorry. And then there's a 3rd one. So yeah, try to see if I can get rid of some of it and maybe turn $1 in the process. But anyway, that ain't what I'm talking about. See if I can get these undressed, get these branches off, and then I'm gonna see about piling them somewhere and make just like a burn pile, I guess, more or less. I'm not gonna make it too big just because I want a smaller fire to have to tend and worry about. So I might break it up into several piles. And a lot of this cedar you see here, I'm probably going to put it at the bottom, just because that stuff, it tends to burn really hot really quickly, like almost like a flash burn. And so that at my base, along with whatever I set it off with, should give me a good start. But and with that in mind, I'm gonna break a lot of that stuff up too. So I might have several piles, and then the after I make the cedar my base, I'm gonna use these to build up upon it from there. So I don't know that I'll get into all of that today, but I'm gonna go ahead and get them undressed for sure. All right, guys. So I've got all my limbs cut off. All of what are going to be my posts exposed, posts or whatever else I might come up with for them. And then I had that one. I'm not sure what kind of tree that is, but like I told you guys, I just cut it up into fireplace size pieces. But yeah, guys, happy to have that taken care of. Like I said, I probably wasn't going to get to making my pals today, so that will come here soon, but just not today. And then I'll actually probably need to start burning here soon. But the only problem is, like today, I always seems so windy, and so I just a little hesitant to burn on those type of days or these type of days. You can really see it on this tree kind of, but just that little bit of wind could cause big issues for me if I was to have a nice size fire going. So I just like to play it safe, and I'll just wait to that day that I believe is suitable, and I'll get rid of some of this stuff. But yeah, guys, mission accomplished. That was something I got tired of looking at the front of the house and just sitting there. I know Angela probably didn't like it either, and so I'm glad to have gotten those up and out the way. But unfortunately for her, I'm going to be doing some more cutting up there. Not today, of course, but here soon, because I want to go ahead and open that up like I spoke to you guys about earlier. But that's going to do it for me, guys. I hope you guys have a great Labor Day. Enjoy your extended weekend if you're not working, and keep trucking for those of you that are working. I'll probably be trying to get something done myself. But leave me a comment, guys. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Remember, we're on our road to 2,500, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to hit the bell notification. Until next time, guys, peace.